the current research, like what the gap is that we're trying to fill in the first place.
Mommy.
I need to fix that.
Insider look in Natalie.
And then on the escalator, I saw him take his phone out and slip it under your skirt twice. I was like, oh! I have a singular chicken breast for breakfast. Okay, never mind. I got really hungry pretty quickly. So I'm gonna have, what is this? Cacao granola? I don't know why it sounds so much. You can really taste the protein. It's good though. It's not bad. They gave me a CD. Who does CDs these days? What? This is an ink-based printer, so I have these. Which would be disastrous if I spilled anywhere. Okay. This is a bit more complicated than I anticipated, so. Let me cook. It won't come off. It's okay. I have a poke bowl, as always. I've been trying out like all the poke bowl places in my area. This one's new. I also asked the restaurant to give me like the restaurant recommended sauce. I think it's some sort of like sweet wasabi.
Insider look in Natalie.
Good morning. Guys, look at my PJs. They're so cute. Oh, there's also like a matching robe thing. Wait, I love it. Anyways, if you can tell, I actually just woke up. Okay. I have... Let's talk about this later. Because there's this like new bread place that opened right outside my apartment. Hello. There's this new bread place that opened right outside my apartment. They only sell like regular bread and sobuntang, but like they like perfect it, if that makes sense. And this was like my first time getting it from them because they opened literally like a week ago. And it's this like brand called Salt and Mellow. Just the most like decadently soft and sweet, and like it's so good. So I'm just gonna this for breakfast. This is my ideal breakfast. I love. I have this terrible habit of letting my devices run to the ground before I ever even think to charge them. I need to fix that, low-key.
And it's in spray floral. Genuinely looks like one of those like
볶음밥, 육개장, 화덕 삼치구이, it's really yummy. 낙지 젓갈, 배추꽃 김치, 진미채 볶음, 고추조림, 계란말이, and mommy.
삼치. 그렇지. 가시도 별로 없어. 감자 줄까? 어때? 장난 아니지.
I think I prefer protein from the waters. Does that make sense? Like I prefer like seafood as my protein than like meat.
너무 괜찮지? 대박이야 이거. 화덕구이를 이렇게 해서 팔아. 줄 서서 산다 반찬 가게인데 10점만 있는 줄 알았어. 산으로 간 고등어라고 맛있는지 몰랐어.
너무 맛있다. 물론 엄마가 해주니까 그랬어.
아니야. 이 사람 이걸로 내는 건데 내가 내는 건데.
Designing my web portfolio right now. Initially, I was gonna hire someone to design this for me, but I kind of got into it, so I think it's coming together relatively nicely. I actually just had an incredibly productive work block from like noon to 3:40 now. I finished, well, I didn't finish, but I at least designed the landing page of my research portfolio as well as draft up the introduction section of one of the manuscripts I'm working on right now. I'm gonna continue to work on this in a cafe. I'm gonna meet up with Josh soon. I also have a meeting tonight at 10 p.m. my time and then tomorrow 7 a.m. my time as well. I feel like coordinating meeting times is actually relatively easy, especially if the institutions or the people I'm working with are on the East Coast. But it gets difficult is when people are on California time. Then I'm like, okay, like either my deepest nights are their like reasonable mornings or their ridiculous early mornings are like my like relatively okay like evenings, and it's just strange. But a 7 a.m. meeting is not bad at all. That would be 3 p.m. in California, so works out for both parties. I'm gonna go get ready and leave because I'm gonna fall asleep if I don't. Yeah, you can't get that right.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
There's 5 answer choices.
That's
Out of
ridiculous.
4. That's crazy. I like the poopy boys in your vlogs.
Earl Grey.
Would you be a doll and pass me my bag? Would you?
먹는 거 맞아?
Wait, that's like so interesting. It's very my style. You wouldn't like it.
citrusy?
가벼워. Yeah, you wouldn't like it. I knew. I Guys, this is a first. Usually, Josh always finishes his food.
Boopy, 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 boo. Boopy, 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 boo. 이것만 봐도 연령대가 느껴져.
First try of jioni. I think I've had something in my eye like all day. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you, Natalie? Good morning over there. No.
It's 10 p.m. So good evening for me, I guess.
Are you used to work in different timeline? Regular?
Yes. Yeah. I've had some meetings happen at like 3 a.m., 4 a.m. Only occasionally, so it's been more than manageable.
And she lives in France, and sometimes it's like difficult to arrange time with her.
Oh, I can imagine. The current research, like what the gap is that we're trying to fill in the first place. So I was able to find some more sources on that. About it, and now that we had this meeting, because I wasn't too sure about that, so I just left them in regardless. Prada, Hollister, Sistina? Question mark?
Guys, someone took a picture of my...
How do you even describe that? Somebody took a picture of under my skirt, question mark?
Yeah, under your skirt.
And somebody sniped a flick. So I just went to the police. Eventful day. Okay, hi guys. You guys are on my floor because I feel like this is a floor conversation. To debrief what basically went down. It's been a long week. It's the weekend. Josh and I were gonna go get a nice dinner. And the dinner place was basically 2 subway rides away from my place. So I had to get on one subway and then transfer on to another subway. And then I was wearing the outfit that you guys see like before. My parents have always been a bit squeamish of me wearing skirts on subways specifically. And they tell me to either take the bus or like take a taxi on days you're wearing a skirt because of these incidents. But obviously like I bypassed said warnings and I got on the subway anyways. So I got off the first subway at Gangnam Station. And if you guys don't know, Gangnam is basically one of the most central hubs of Seoul in Korea, meaning that the subway stations are super crowded. It's like all the time. There's like a lot of people trying to get to places like at all times. So it's like mayhem, right? So, and I've been here countless times. So I didn't really think much of it while I was making the walk from one platform to another. And that walk was quite long. I had to like go up a flight of stairs, go up another flight of stairs, and everything like that. I had a feeling that somebody definitely was following me from behind, but at the same time, like never in a million years did I think that they were following me for ill intentions, because obviously people have places to go. I thought they were just someone who was trying to get to like the next platform, right? So I'm getting on the second flight of stairs and this lady in green starts throwing gang signs at me. She's like gesturing wildly. And like I have my AirPods in, which was like another thing I probably shouldn't have done. I definitely should have been a little bit more aware of my surroundings. And I honestly thought that the lady in green was like a weird person. I just didn't know what her deal was. And there were plenty of like weird people at Gangnam Station. Like there'll be people who try to like baptize you on the spot. There'll be people who are trying to sell you like their like crypto finance courses like on the spot. And it's just like, I just thought she was one of those. So obviously like I look at her like this and she's like, and then I'm like, okay, like I'm just gonna ignore this. And I look around and I look behind me and I see that the escalator is basically empty. Like the entire escalator is empty, except for this one dude who was literally on the step right beneath me. And I don't know about you, but I was like, okay, that is kind of weird, because if an entire escalator is empty, I would think it's basic etiquette to at least put a step in between the person in front of you. Unless it's super crowded, then you can be on the step right before them. But like, why are you on like a step like right behind me? You know what I mean? And he was quite close, but I really couldn't put 2 and 2 together to that point. So like, I'm like running away away from this lady in green, and this lady in green is following me, and I'm like, okay, like this is like a weird day. And I get on the subway platform and I sit down, and the lady in green followed me all the way to the subway car, right? And I'm like, okay, like I don't know what her deal is, but like I'm not really sure. Anyways, I get closer to my station, and the lady in green finally flags me down, and like I take my AirPods out because this is more of a controlled setting, and I needed to see what she had to say, because at this point, like I'm like, okay, like I seriously, like I need to give her time of day or else she's not gonna leave me alone. And then she tells me, I've been watching the guy who's sitting right across you right now since like you guys got off of the first subway car, because I got off of that subway car as well. I could tell that he was like looking at you, he was looking at your skirt, he was looking at like, he was looking you up and down, and he was looking around to make sure that nobody was like really like seeing that he was following you. And he was following you all the way to this part like really closely. And then on the escalator, I saw him take his phone out and slip it under your skirt twice. I was like, oh, okay. So here's this like in green trying to like help me, and then like I was running away from her thinking that she was the perpetrator, when in reality the guy was literally sitting right across me. In a very low voice, she was like, he's literally sitting right across you, I suggest you get off at this station like immediately. And I obviously follow her off the station, and like I'm not sure if he followed me off or not, because at that point like I was basically running away just in case he did. Like I was like pretty shaken at that point in time, because I've dealt with similar incidents before, but like not in a long time, honestly. So I was just like kind of like shaken up, being like, oh, I should have been more careful. And I know I'm using a lot of like victim blaming languages where I'm saying like, oh, I should have done this and I should have done that. Like there is no should have. Like you don't do that. You know what I mean? Like in any case, shape or form, like that guy is weird and he deserves to be put behind bars or some shit. I don't even know, because he's probably not even, this probably isn't even his first time doing that. When I say that, I mean like, you know, it doesn't hurt to be more careful knowing that there are psychos out there in this world, right? I'm like pretty shaken up, and then thankfully the stop that we got off at, where she got off with me, was the stop that I was supposed to meet my boyfriend at anyways. And I'm like, I tell him what happened, and then we go file a police report. Apparently like this happens all the time, and like they have camera systems all throughout the subway station because this happens so often, which is both good and sad at the same time that there's a need for that. It's a shame that we live in a reality where we have to be careful, but you know, if we can't change reality like that in an instant right now, then I think like, you know, then you do have to be careful, you know. Since then, I never wear AirPods, especially when I'm commuting during like the subway stations. If I'm wearing a skirt on the subway, I also like bring a wrap skirt, so I like wrap it around my waist so it's not as like short. Which, case in point, that skirt wasn't even short. It literally came to like right above my knee. Okay, fine, mid-thigh, but at the same time, like it wasn't even that short. So I guess like there's no circumventing people who are gonna do weird shit anyways, but I don't know, better safe than sorry. At least as safe as you can be.